One of the biggest problems globally is that there's a lack of financial education. This is true in the United States and also internationally. What we have seen is that the wealth inequality gap, it's not actually a wealth-driven problem. It's an education-driven problem. Because of inflationary nature of money, and especially high inflation that's ravaging the world all over, country by country by country, we've seen the people who understand how that works and why holding investable assets is important. They've been getting richer. But the bottom half of the global population, especially in the United States, the people who don't understand that, they simply continue to try to save their way to financial security. And that is a major problem. But don't take my word for it. I saw this recent Reddit post from somebody in Ireland, a place that usually doesn't get that much coverage. And they explicitly called out this very problem. Here's what they said. I'm Irish, and not many people over here are familiar with cryptocurrency and the potential that it brings. I read this ignorant and tone-deaf article this morning, and I was probably displaying visible anger. Ireland, like many places, is suffering from inflation and rising housing prices. Comments such as, "Why would you swap your nice steady euros?" left me perplexed. Are these people completely out of touch with the reality that the average person is living in? Nothing is mentioned about the long-term goal of these cryptocurrencies. I am well and truly flabbergasted that our national news provider would publish such an article. The real shame is that many in Ireland would only use RTE as their source of information, and this is the first thing that they would have read about crypto, and they will run a million miles away from it. Now, of course, the mainstream media, they may not be in touch with the average person. They may not understand how bad inflation is impacting them. They may not understand that the average person continues to fall further and further behind. But they also don't understand Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. They don't understand the technology. They don't understand the economic impact it can have on a person who decides to be responsible, to simply dollar cost average, not to speculate, but to simply use it as a savings technology. But that is why it is so important for every one of us, myself and you who's watching this, to continue to help educate, to spread the word, to make sure that people around the world understand what this technology can do. Help them understand how money works, help them understand what inflation does, help them explain why saving in an asset that continues to lose purchasing power may not be a smart financial decision. The mainstream media is going to continue to do what they do. We can sit here and we can complain about it, or we can simply get to work and try to compete in the marketplace and say to ourselves, we have the knowledge. Now all we have to do is share it. This person in Ireland, they get it. They realize that the information that's being spread may not be accurate. And so ultimately, they, myself, and you, we simply just have to start to speak up, spread the word, and then the technology will get the global adoption that it deserves.